his harp strings strangled him in his sleep. The Sogdian city of Samarkand, 5th century. A jewel on the Silk Road, a crossroads of cultures and ambitions, and a place where secrets could be buried beneath mountains of silk and gold. We find ourselves in the opulent, yet dimly lit, court of King Varus, a man known for his love of music and his even greater love of power. Tonight, however, the music has died. The court bard, a celebrated musician named Ashken, lies dead in his chambers. His prized, intricately carved harp rests beside him. Its strings, all 36 of them, meticulously wound around his neck, a scene so bizarre, so theatrical. It speaks of something far more sinister than a simple drunken accident. Ashken was blind, his other senses heightened, his music capable of moving men to tears or inciting them to riot. Who would silence such a man, and in such a macabre fashion? The royal guard, led by the stoic Captain Cameron, are already investigating. But whispers of dark magic and ancient curses are spreading faster than the desert wind. Was this a ritualistic killing, a personal vendetta, or something far more politically dangerous? The investigation begins, and Captain Cameron, a man of logic and discipline, finds himself wading through a mire of conflicting accounts and veiled truths. Ashken, despite his blindness, seemed to see more than most. He was a confidant of the king, a subtle advisor, and a keeper of secrets. His songs, often allegorical, held coded messages, and his influence stretched further than anyone initially suspected. The first suspect is Zara, a fiery dancer from the western deserts, and Ashken's lover. She claims to have been with him until late, leaving only when he fell asleep. But her story is contradicted by a serving girl who saw Zara arguing with Ashken earlier that evening, their voices raised in anger. Could Zara have been driven to a crime of passion? Or is she a pawn in a larger game? Meanwhile, the court physician examines the body and discovers a faint trace of poison on Ashken's lips. A rare, slow-acting paralytic. Harp strings were merely the final, theatrical touch. The question now becomes, who had access to such a poison, and why hide the method of delivery? Just as the investigation seems to be circling back to Zara, a new and shocking piece of evidence emerges. A hidden compartment is discovered within Ashken's harp, containing a series of meticulously written scrolls. These scrolls are not musical scores, but detailed accounts of the king's clandestine dealings, secret alliances, betrayals, and ruthless power grabs. Ashken, it seems, was not just a musician, but a spy, meticulously documenting the king's every move. The implication is staggering. Did King Varus discover Ashken's betrayal and order his execution? Cameron, a loyal soldier sworn to protect the king, now faces an impossible dilemma. Loyalty versus truth. He confronts Varus, presenting him with the scrolls. The king, initially defiant, crumbles under the weight of the evidence, admitting to knowing about Ashken's duplicity, but vehemently denying any involvement in his murder. He claims he was planning to confront Ashken, not kill him, hoping to turn him into a double agent. But is this just another layer of deception? Stakes are now impossibly high. Cameron, torn between his duty to the king and his pursuit of justice, decides to investigate Varus's alibi. He discovers that on the night of the murder, the king was not in his chambers, as he claimed, but meeting secretly with a delegation of merchants from a rival kingdom. These merchants, known for their ruthlessness and penchant for intrigue, had a clear motive to silence Ashken, whose songs had often criticized their trade practices. But the merchants deny any involvement, offering a counter-accusation that the king himself orchestrated the murder to frame them and solidify his own power. As Cameron delves deeper, he uncovers a web of lies and double crosses, where everyone is a suspect and no one can be trusted. Then Zara, the dancer, disappears, leaving behind only a cryptic note hinting at a conspiracy that reaches the highest echelons of power. Has she fled in fear, or is she the key to unlocking the truth? Cameron, feeling the walls closing in, finally pieces together the puzzle. He realizes that Ashken's murder was not about political secrets or rivalries, but about a deeply personal betrayal. The poison found on Ashken's lips was not intended to kill him, but to paralyze him, rendering him helpless. The true killer was not King Varus, nor the merchants, but Ashken's own apprentice, a young man named Timur, whom Ashken had raised and mentored. Timur was driven by a jealous rage, fueled by the belief that Ashken favored Zara over him, both in affection and in artistic recognition. In a twisted act of vengeance, Timur used his knowledge of music to orchestrate the bard's final performance, turning his beloved harp into an instrument of death. Timur, knowing the king's secrets would be discovered, framed him, ensuring chaos and allowing him to vanish into the shadows, his motive hidden behind the curtain of political intrigue. Ashken, the blind bard who saw too much, was ultimately undone not by what he knew, but by what he failed to see in the heart of his most trusted companion. His music silenced, his legacy forever intertwined with the macabre image of his own harp strings, a chilling testament to the deadly power of jealousy and betrayal in the heart of the Silk Road.